Welcome, welcome, welcome. So fun to have you all here from all over the world. Thank you so much for joining. That song always makes me so happy. I just love starting the day with some sunshine. So I hope that it brought a little joy to your morning, evening, or afternoon, depending where you are in the world. So welcome, everyone. Happy birthday to the birthdays that we have today. So happy that you guys could join us. Happy birthday, Sandra. Happy birthday, Kelly, if you're on the call. So awesome to have you all here. So today is day four of the challenge, and the focus is on the body today. We've spent the past couple days really focused on the mind, focused on our intentions, focused on our higher self, focused on who we're becoming in this process, who we're going to be. And today we're going to take it to the physical and we're going to tune into the body. You know, the body is a massive source of wisdom. The body is an element of the subconscious, the unconscious mind, and this practice of the breath, this breathing really pulls energy and liberates energy out of the body through the physical. So it's almost like using your physical body as a tool for this transformation and this higher self. So we thought it would be really amazing and wonderful and intuitive to kind of like tune into our body and kind of do this checkpoint of before and after the breath and really see the way that that influences our physical being. So Maria is going to talk a little bit about the body and the way that it kind of connects to the practice, connects to meditation and to Dr. Joe's work. And then we're going to spend about 30 seconds ahead of the breath and just kind of like tune in and feel any sensations in our body, any energy, any lack of energy, just anything that's coming up on the physical plane. And then we'll do the same thing for about 30 seconds after the breath work. So thought that would be kind of a really fun way to connect in this way. And I hope you all enjoy it. But before we get into that, I'll pass things over to Maria to talk a bit about the body.
Thank you, Sophia. Lovely to spend a Sunday with you guys. Where else could we be, right? Where else? So when we talk about change and when Dr. Joe teaches us about change, there are three big things that we need to learn of in order to be greater than, in order to think greater than. And those three are first our environment. So in order to change, we need to think and we need to be greater than our environment. The second one is the hardest for me personally, which means thinking greater than the body or being greater than the body. And the third one is time. Is okay, I want to change, but I don't have the time. So we're going to leave the environment and time for another moment. But so as we want to focus on the body, what does it mean to think greater than the body? And when we think about the body, I believe you can all relate to the moment where you wake up, you open your eyes, and you're not thinking anything. And in the moment that you come back to your senses, the first thing you do is you think about a problem because your brain is a record of the past. But those problems are memories that are like tattooed in our brain. And in the moment you think about a problem, then there is an emotion that wakes up because we have experienced that person or that thing or that condition, and the experience is in the body. So thoughts are the language of the brain, emotions are the language of the body. So if we want to think about, okay, so what do I need to do to go beyond the emotions of the body? First of all, I need to learn how to read my body. I need to observe my body. Sometimes, Sophia, I get so stuck with my little engineering mind. I get so stuck in my brain that I'm not even aware what my body is doing. I'm not even aware how I'm sitting, my posture, if my shoulders are leaning forward or backward, if I'm like in this loosey-goosey posture. I lose sight of my body. And the same way, when we are in a meditation, I love how Dr. Joe always says that when he starts feeling some movement of energy, he just relaxes in that movement, in that vibration, in that sensation. And then what happens is when we start feeling something, then we relax on it. So the energy starts building. And that's when it's actually when we are getting out of the way, when our mind is getting out of the way. So the energy comes through the body. It knows how to do it. The autonomic nervous system awakens, and then that's when the magic happens in the body, not in the mind, but in the body. And at the end, they are all connected, because for every sensation that the body is feeling, the brain is constantly checking, okay, so I see Chrissy is feeling a little bit upset today. You know what? I'm going to fire another thought that's going to make her feel even more upset. So then the upsetness starts building in the body. But if in another way, Chrissy is feeling happy today, then the brain is going to say, you know what? I need to catch up with Chrissy. So it's going to send her another thought that's going to make her feel more happy. So that's how it goes. That's how our body is always showing us, giving us little hints of what's going on in the body. And at the same time is letting us become aware that there are some thoughts or some beliefs or some habits that are being built between the brain and the body.
Thank you for sharing that. That is so powerful and so useful to be able to connect that to our practice. And I know that in my personal experience, like so often the times when I'm disconnected from my body are when I'm not present, when I'm like rushing through my day, rushing through a moment, and just to be able to like tune in both in our meditation while doing the breath and then also while in our waking day, and just be able to like reconnect to that. I think it can be such a grounding presence, truly. So I really love that description, and it resonated a lot in my personal experience. So before we get into things,
And
like yeah.
one last thing, Sophia, about the breath and the body. Doing the breath is an experience for the body. So this challenge is for the body to experience. So that is so important. I didn't want to miss that part. I'm sorry. I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Thank you. Before we get into things, if you want to either write down in your journal just like a couple words about like any sensations you're feeling in your body, anything if you're feeling tired, awake, anxious, happy, silly, anything like that, you can write it in your journal, you can pop it in the chat. And then after we do the breath, we can kind of do the same thing and just feel that like physical change. It's really impactful.
How does the rain feel in my body? That's going to be my journaling today.
Great, and we'll give you about like 15, 20 more seconds to write anything down. Okay, and today we're going to be doing track number 4 called Riding Through off of Inspire Volume 2. This is a really wonderful track. And again, we invite you to put on headphones. That is how Dr. Joe recommends listening to the track if you have them available. You're welcome to turn off of your camera. Maria and I will go off camera and we will play the track and then join together and open things up to some questions and tune into the body and see how we're feeling afterwards. We'll see you soon.
See you at the other side.
That's an amazing track. We'll
Yes,
give you
that
all
music.
a minute again while you're kind of coming back, recentering in the room. Feel free to, you can close your eyes, you can keep them open and just kind of tune in and notice the shift, that real tangible feeling that changes when we do this practice. You can write a few words in your journal. You can share in the chat, and we'll give you a few seconds to really center into this, and then we can open it up to some questions. Would anybody like to share their experience?
Happy to do that. I am struggling a little bit with the breathing rhythm, because I'm used to where, you start in the bottom and you bring one breath up and you bring one breath out. And it feels like there's a quicker cycle of breath happening in this track that I lost a little bit of track of as I was doing it, because he talks about letting a little bit of air out and then breathing up again, and then a little bit of air up, and sometimes bringing the energy up, and then sometimes bringing the energy up with the breath. So I did have a question related to that, but I found it really rejuvenating and really connecting me to the energy in the pineal gland. So I really felt the intensity of that energy as it built, for sure. I just had some questions around the rhythm of that breath.
Okay, I hear you. Well, this is definitely an evolution of the breath. Now we are sitting on 6 on our pineal gland. So instead of pushing the air, we are pulling it. So our awareness is here in our pineal gland. Now, in terms of the one after the other, or one full inhale, I think is something that you can maybe start practicing or playing with it a little bit. Like, okay, what if I start going one by one, or you go all the way up, and then you without releasing from your perineum, you start contracting in little chunks. You contract a little bit more, and in the moment you feel that you cannot go further, you just go one more, a little more contraction, so that the energy builds a little bit more. But the right answer for this is what is the right way for you, so that you actually feel when he says now exhale and relax, you feel that there's this energy in your brain, and you are actually are feeling that you are getting there. So it is more about finding your own pace, your own rhythm, relaxing in the music, letting the music push you, and playing with it a little bit more every time.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that makes sense. I also, just, if I may, just wanted to talk about using the breath in a practical way. I just had a scorpion bite sting here in Mexico, and it's the second sting that I had, and I used the Dr. Joe breath to help me through 8 hours of excruciating pain. And I used the breath to push the toxins back out of the site where the scorpion sting was. And it was really effective in helping create this calming effect for me during a very painful, I don't know if anyone's had a scorpion sting before, but it's very excruciating pain. And this was a fire scorpion. And what it does is it heats up the nerves, and it creates a fiery kind of nerve pain that's very excruciating. However, I just kept myself really calm by using the breath that I've learned in Dr. Joe's work. So I just wanted to share that we can sometimes bring it into a practical way. And because we're talking about the body, when the body's in pain, I think this breath is really effective in helping keeping a calm relationship with that pain and moving through that pain.
It's a beautiful, beautiful example of what it is to be greater than your body.
Mm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
listening.
sharing that.
Yeah.
Lorelai, do you have a question?
Hello, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I have a little child here. I wanted to say that I was struggling to do this breath before with the volume 1, but I find volume 2 to be easier because actually, sorry, his dad is late to intervene. Um, because actually, I feel like there is less body involved. And I see there are a lot of women on the call, and I think if you had a few kids and you might have had some trauma in your perineum, it might be more difficult to feel the perineum. There's one of them. Sorry.
Sunday morning. It's
Yeah,
awesome
sorry.
that they're here.
But with this breath, I feel that you don't have to focus so much on all the muscles and all all the body bits, and you can just focus on the body and on the breath itself. And I found this to be much nicer.
Wow, that is a beautiful, beautiful understanding. It's you're actually elevating my own understanding, Lorelai. And one other thing that probably is making it easier for you is that this is not new for your body. Our bodies are very resistant to new things. If we eat a lot of sugar, hey, the body doesn't like that we don't give sugar. The body craves for the known. But now, as you have started doing the breath and you even started with volume 1, now your body is more familiar with it. And that is also part of this beautiful journey, that the more uncomfortable we are with doing something, but if we still show up and if we continue, the body's going to surrender to it. Sooner or later, it's going to surrender. So thank you for sharing, Lorelai. And great to have you here, buddy.
Sherilyn, do you have a question?
Oh, well, I was going to make a comment, if that's
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Um,
It's welcome.
so I'm so glad that to hear the being reminded to surrender into the feeling of like I remember also at a retreat Joe talking about like if you feel a pain even, surrender into it. And so I've gotten to the point, I guess, recently with the breath, because I've been practicing it for a while now, is that now my body will just like lock into the different places that it's supposed to, as he describes to do, instead of it being more difficult to do that. My body is just now will just automatically go into those places. But I guess about a few days ago or a week ago, maybe, when I was doing the breath and I felt this pain inside of me, and it shocked me and surprised me. And so I kind of stopped the energy, and the energy was really big. And I mean, it still moved, but I stopped that process. And so just hearing or being reminded to surrender, even if you feel pain, because there's something wonderful on the other side of that pain. There's healing. And so thank you for reminding us to surrender to the energy, because the energy, even if our body may be uncomfortable, the energy knows what to do.
Oh, yes.
When it's moving. And so I was like, oh, if I had really surrendered in that moment instead of gotten a bit surprised out of it. But so thank you for the reminder.
Thank you. Yeah, it takes a lot of courage. but we got you.
Thank you.
You know, something that I'm loving hearing today and just through this process is how unique everyone's experience is. I think like it's so human to kind of get into this comparison game sometimes about like I want it to kind of fit into this box of these expectations that we create. And what I love hearing from everybody and is like it is so individual. It one day it might be more of a physical practice and the next it might be on the intention and it might be completely different one day to the next, but it's impacting you and connecting with you in a way that you need. And Sherilyn, what you just shared really makes me think of that so much. Like the energy knows what to do. It's this practice and then we're being co-collaborated with in this beautiful way. So thank you so much for sharing. Rev, would you like to share?
I have a question. I'm not sure which person to ask, but I would like to buy at least one of these albums to gift to someone that can't afford it because of the amazing benefits. And you guys provided me my progressive intensive, and I have the ability now to do something back like that. And I would love to be able to figure out a way to do that.
Getting into the Dr. Joe Unlimited, have you purchased other meditations before?
Oh, yeah, I've purchased several. I'm just saying that I'd like to be able to specifically buy one for someone else that cannot afford it because I can afford to do that today because of this work.
Can I make a suggestion? You
Please.
can get a gift card on the website. You can get a gift card and then they can download it on their own computer. I don't know if they have the actual CD, but many people don't have a CD player. But if you
Yeah.
get the gift card, then they can make their own login on Encephalon on Dr. Joe's website and just download the tracks.
So it sounds like you're suggesting I find somebody myself. That's an amazing thing. And I just thought of someone from South Africa. Thank you.
Yeah, so you would log in with your own login and like you would to buy the album yourself, but instead of
Right,
purchasing
right.
an album, you purchase
Yeah.
the gift card. And
Yeah,
you can send
perfect.
it
Thank you.
electronically. You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I just met Abanka and I can give it to him. Thank you. That's so exciting. Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. And that's a
Well,
great
good.
suggestion, Lorelai. Thank you for sharing.
Looking forward to hear all of your adventures in this challenge for the next couple of days.